Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Peaceful Teachings. Across Central Asia, in countries where Islam shaped identity for centuries, something unexpected is happening. Hijabs are being restricted, niqabs are being banned, religious education is being limited, and governments only promote a modern secular identity, one that sidelines visible Islamic practices. Why is this happening? Is it just about security or is there a deeper agenda? And what does the Quran say about nations that prioritize modernity over religious identity? Let's begin with verified facts from international sources. Kazakhstan. In June 2025, a law was passed banning face covering garments in public places. Government officials claim it's for security, but international media widely reported that it targeted niqabs. Kyrgyzstan. Since February 1, 2025, the niqab, also known as paranza, is officially banned. Women who wear it are fined. The government calls it a measure against radicalization. Tajikistan. For years, authorities have restricted hijabs, banned black Islamic clothing, and limited religious education. Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. Both countries maintain strict state control over religious institutions, often regulating sermons, Islamic schools, and dress codes. These are not opinions, these are documented state policies, and they show a clear trend. Central Asian governments are reducing the public visibility of Islam. To understand these moves, we need to examine the deeper motivation. Here are the verified factors shaping these policies. The Soviet legacy. Central Asia lived under Soviet rule for around 70 years, a regime that aggressively suppressed religion. After independence, many countries kept the same secular state structure where religion is heavily controlled. Second is government fear of radicalism. Officials often claim that niqabs, long beards, or foreign styles Islamic dress could lead to extremism, so they try to limit anything they view as foreign influenced Islam. Third is national identity projects. Some leaders promote a national identity that it is cultural, not deeply religious. They argue that hijabs and niqabs are not traditional and instead represent foreign cultures. Political control. Independent religious movements create alternative centers of influence. Authoritarian governments fear this, so they prefer Islam to remain strictly under state supervision. The global image factor. Many of these countries want to appear modern, stable, and attractive to Western investors. Restricting conservative Islamic practice is seen as aligning with a modernized image. In short, these policies are not about rejecting Islam, but about controlling it. However, this control has consequences. When you restrict the outward expression of Islam, you don't just change clothing laws, you reshape the hearts and identities of an entire generation. Here are the real impacts. When visible Islamic symbols are removed, younger generations grow up without strong attachment to their faith. Restriction on Islamic schools, foreign scholars, and independent mosques reduce real learning and scholarship. Islam becomes something symbolic, a cultural identity, instead of a lived religion. History shows that when religion is restricted publicly, it goes underground, often unsupervised, sometimes vulnerable to misuse. This isn't just politics, it's an identity crisis unfolding in the real time. The Quran speaks clearly about societies that choose worldly image over divine guidance. Those are the ones who have purchased the life of this world at the cost of the hereafter. Quran, chapter number 2, verse number 86. A powerful reminder: when a people trade eternal values for temporary appearance, it is a losing transaction. Allah once again selective belief, accepting parts of the religion that fit modern standards and rejecting the parts that don't. The life of this world is nothing but amusement and diversion, and hereafter is a real life. Quran, chapter number 29, verse number 64. Modernization is not forbidden, but what modernization becomes more important than Islam, that is where societies begin to drift. And the Quran warns repeatedly about this drift. So what's happening in Central Asia is more than just a political shift. It's a spiritual crossroads. These nations are trying to modernize, but in the process they risk loosening their very faith that shaped them for the centuries. The real question is not about governments. The real question for us is, are we too prioritizing worldly image over our religious identity? Are we choosing selective Islam, what fits society, instead of what Allah commands? Are we holding on to our faith even when the world pressures us to let go? History shows that when Muslims drift, it begins with small restrictions, a law, a ban, a cultural shift. But it ends with generations disconnected from the Quran and Sunnah. Let us reflect, learn, and stay rooted, not in what is trending, but in what is eternal. Thank you for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.